Welcome to this module. We are going to look at which solar panel is best for you. We already said that crystalline and thin film solar panels have their own pros and cons. That the choice of a solar panel depends on your budget. So when you are saying I need a quality solar panel, you have to pay higher. We already said that the choice of your solar panel also depends on the condition of your property. How is Do you have enough space to mount the solar panels, or you don't have enough space for the purpose of mounting the solar panels, and your understanding of how the solar panel work. Example, if you are having a limited space, so those living in a dense area with limited space should opt for high efficient crystalline models to make the most of the physical space and maximize utility savings. If you are considering the thin film solar panels, it is best suited for locations where flexible solar installation is required instead of rigid uh, paneling or installation. The thin film solar panels, they don't have frames. Some of them are rollable and some of them are foldable. So in those kind of situation, you might need your thin film solar panels. So we want to move to another concept, which is a familiar concept to everybody that had been in the solar industry, but we are going to adopt a different approach when we are considering types of connection as it pertains to the solar panel. So now we want to talk about solar panels connection. So when you are talking about solar panels connection, it's more or less like solar battery connection. So any solar battery or solar panel connection, when you are talking about connection, you have to consider certain things. Uh, you have to put certain things into consideration. First of all, you have to know that your panel connection depends on the current or the voltage requirements that you need to configure other of your components. So you don't just say, I want to connect my solar panels. How are you going to connect it? What are the parameters that you have to take into consideration before you start connecting the solar panels? What are those materials that you have on site that will enable you understand how you connect your solar panels? So if we are considering types of connection or anything connection in the solar industry, we have three basic types of connection, including the series connection. We will take a look at the series connection. Then we have the parallel connection, and we have the series parallel connection. We will do justice to this by throwing more light on these types of connection and how it affects the performance of your installation. But before then, let's look at our nuggets. Let's look at our nuggets. What are the things that you have to consider before you start even planning your installation? If you look at this powerhouse now, you have the Fronius inverters here. You have your Quadros inverters here. You have your Phoenix inverter here. You have your charge controllers here. There are 3 in number, and you have your solar batteries here. Then the question now is, if I am connecting my solar panels, how am I going to connect it with this component that I am having here on site? So the type of connection or the way you connect your solar panels on site depends on the materials that are available on site. You don't just connect solar panels. Solar panels are not connected in isolation. You have to consider the availability of other materials on site. That is the number one thing you have to connect or consider. What is the rating of the solar panel that you want to connect, and how do you correlate it with other components that you have on site? So any connection is based on the panel parameters, that is the solar panel nameplates that we talked about before. Now you have to consider the solar panel nameplate, and you match it with the rating of each of the solar charge controller here, and the rating of the Fronius inverters here. If you are sending it to the Fronius inverters, if you are sending it direct to the inverter, if it is the inverter that the charge controller is incorporated into the system, that is the inverter, that means you have to equally look at the rating of the inverter before you can think of connecting the solar panel appropriately. And another thing, if you can look at this figure here, you see it connected in strings, string 1, string 2, string 3, and string 4. What informs you of how you connect this in strings, or are you going to connect all of them? This is about 8 solar panels. Are you going to connect them all in series, or are you going to connect them in series and before you connect them in parallel, as you have seen here? So those are some of the factors that you have to consider before you start connecting your solar panel. So we are saying here, before you start connection, you should always ask yourself the best possible ways to arrange your solar panels so that it will be possible to achieve the desired connection. So when you are thinking of connecting solar panels, first of all, think of how many panels am I going to connect? What are the ratings of other components on site? Then how am I going to lay the solar panels? As we have rightly seen here, we are laying it here. This is positive to negative. This is series connection, and we are having string 1. We are also having another positive to negative, and we are having string 2. You see, we have up to string 4, and later we come and connect all of them in parallel. Then we have the output that we are having here. So those are some of the consideration you have to consider when you are thinking about connecting your solar panel. We move to another nugget that will assist you know how to appropriately connect your solar panels. Thank you.